Harry, it is 5 good comic book covers, and this is the 50th one. And for the 50th one, we have the theme of superhero team-ups. This was a fun one to think of, and it makes for a good 50th episode. Again, these are not what I am calling the 5 best team-up covers ever. They are 5 team-up covers that I saw in my collection and considered good and worth showing off here because one or more of you might agree. I thought we would start with this one, the cover to Amazing Spider-Man 396. Since yesterday, we looked at a Spider-Man and Daredevil team-up issue. This is like the 90s remix of that by Martin Bagels. We have Daredevil in his dope or dopey armour. Your mileage may vary. And we have Spider-Man with quite possibly some of the biggest eyes he has ever sported. It is a nice, colourful image. I can see this grabbing people quite easily, which makes it all the more inappropriate when you consider how miserable and dreary this story is. It is basically Daredevil encouraging Spider-Man to cut off all his friends and family to avoid emotional anguish. I would love to say I cut off all my friends and family for the same reasons, but most of them ignored me to begin with anyway. I was looking up online yesterday, avoidant personality disorder, and it's like, I absolutely 100% have that, on top of me manic depression and me autism and all the other things that are wrong with me. Adventures of Superman 473, featuring Superman teaming up with 2 of the Green Lanterns of Earth, Gary Gardner and Jordan Albert. Look at all the scowls on them faces. This is a Stan Jurgensen cover, and I did have a few rules for this cover's video too. Namely, I couldn't just show a cover of Justice League or the Avengers and say that it is a team-up because it is a bunch of heroes together. It had to be an actual team-up and not just a team. I bring it up because technically, you could argue this is technically 3 members of the Justice League technically teaming up, and therefore technically a Justice League. But I, once again in the style of Quentin Tarantino, reject your hypothesis. One thing I have always tried to steer away from is having 2 issues of the same series in a covers video. I try to avoid having 2 covers of the same thing even. This is the 50th one, so I allowed myself a little rule breaking. This is Adventures of Superman 504 by Wallace Grummett. We have Superman teaming up with Steel Superman and Superboy right at the tail end of the Death of Superman story arc. Good cover and a nice team-up picture, and Superman is wearing his black and silver costume, which really you didn't see all that much of, despite it being fairly well known and iconic within this story. Nice to see Superman and the two heroes he inspired together for the first time. New Warriors issue 46, part of the Child's Play crossover. The gigantic storyline where the New Warriors and Excellent Force battle Chucky. Chucky would have been way cooler than the upstarts. This is by Darren Richardson, and it is a nice picture where he has tried to squeeze nearly all of both the teams into one cover. Good effort. Some of them are wearing dope or dopey 90s costumes. But this here is two teams packed to the brim with decent characters and only a few duds like Knife Splasher. He is the one at the front, while due to space limitations, Firespit is absent. Almost missed Sphincter there. He's quite hidden away, isn't he? I said I was going to wait a while before any of the covers from that last all started appearing in these covers videos. But this is perfect for this theme, and it is one of my favourite covers ever. And it is the 50th one of these videos, and there is no better way to end the 50th covers video than with this cover by Sal Buscema. That is John Buscema's brother. This is Fantastic Force 116. Mr. Doom, he is leading Fantastic Force. This is a perfect cover. We have the Hook, and it is proudly boasting it. It knows that Mr. Doom is all it needs to sell this issue and story. You didn't even have to notice the diabolical shadow of Dr. Bedlam. This is one of the best covers I have ever shown in these videos. Are you sick of seeing this card 50 videos in? You just saw 5 good comic book covers, and nearly all of them were from the 90s. So I know one of you is going to be crying hogwash. To the rest of you, are these hogwash or are these hog roasts? Hog roasts being good, I suppose. Unless you are a vegetarian. Didn't get Doc Hogwash started on vegetarians down below. You'll think the police should crack all their heads in. I will rate these covers, and not encouraging police brutality, a 7 thumbs up.